So what you're seeing in front of you right now is a faceless YouTube channel that is 100% created by AI. However, it is not this standard YouTube channel that is making, 20, 30 grand per month like most people try to just push up in your face. This is something completely different. So I've already done breakdowns of, channels making absurd amounts of money on YouTube, but I really wanted to break down a more fair example of how a faceless YouTube journey could look like. So this channel called Sleepy Time History, it is started within the latest month. If we take a look here. Now this Thailand video is something completely else that I'll get into why they have actually posted this later on in the video. But they posted their first AI created history video 1 month ago. And since they posted that first video, they've already gone viral a few times, 140,000 views in just 5 days. That is quite good. 125k views in 3 weeks. Also amazing. If we take a look at the analytics here, we can kind of estimate what they've been able to earn in the first month of launching their real content. The channel revenue will be wrong here. It is not 1.3k. If we actually take a look at the views, which is approximately 660,000, and let's estimate the RPM for this channel as well. Since they're making super long content of 2 hours, I would estimate this RPM to be around $5 to $6. It could even be much higher, but let's just do a conservative RPM of $5. So 660 times 5, that would mean approximately $3,300 that they've been able to make from this one channel within a single month. Now those numbers themselves might not sound super impressive if you compare it with what everyone else on YouTube is just flaunting around with. But if we're considering that they literally started 30 days ago with their first upload and they're already monetized and earning over 3k within a single month, then that's quite impressive for a beginner just trying to get into YouTube. So the interesting part with this is that the content is 100% made with AI. Let's just take a quick look at one of the videos so that you can get a feel for what they're actually creating.
There's a gap in time that nobody talks about. A stretch of Earth's history so vast, so full of million out there going forward.
As you can see, literally just AI images or images taken from online, some captions, an AI voiceover, an AI script, and that is everything that they've done to put together this video, which got over 140,000 views. So the content is obviously going to be very cheap to create. It's not gonna run you back more than, let's say, if you use the right tools, which I'm going to show you, let's say you're going to be ran back $20 to create a video like this. And if you just run up a comparison with their most popular video here, which has got 140k views, $20 is the cost for making the video, and 140k views with a $5 RPM would be approximately $700. So they made a $680 profit from this one video that is most likely just 100% outsourced to some kind of virtual assistant as well. Now I'm going to show you how you can create a channel like this for yourself. You can either enter the history niche with this knowledge or literally any kind of AI image niche that you want to. But I'm going to show you the entire workflow on how to generate scripts, voiceovers, images, sound effects, everything that you need to know, putting it all together in terms of the editing, best practices, everything. And you might be wondering who the hell I am and why I claim to have the credibility to tell you what is right and what is wrong in terms of YouTube automation. To give you the very quick rundown, if you haven't been on my channel before, my name is Leo. I've earned over $3 million with YouTube automation within just 3 years of getting started. I am yet to turn 22, and not only that, I've also taught hundreds of people how to start YouTube channels like this, getting some pretty sick results. And one of these examples are like Gus here in my community. Like this is literally from 5 hours ago, this update, and he started his first channel, what is it, like 20 days ago, and he's already made $12,000 with his AI channel. Of course, big disclaimer for anyone watching this video. This does not mean that as soon as you post a video on YouTube, you're gonna get rich or that you're gonna make any money at all. YouTube is a very time-consuming and quite hard business model to succeed with, but if you do have the right systems and the right kind of guidance, then that makes it a whole lot easier. You have to stay super consistent for, potentially months or even years before you get monetized. I would rather just stay transparent to everyone watching my channel here. All right, stop. So this is me from the future. You can also tell by the different background. So I'm celebrating Christmas with my family. Now, I'm hosting a free live masterclass for anyone interested in getting into faceless YouTube. January 3rd, as you can see here, the timer will probably be different when you click on the link as this gets uploaded. But we will be going over everything that my students in the program are using to, get crazy results like this, over 2K in a single day, $0 to $12K in 20 days of monetization. Absolutely crazy. And all of the other results, getting monetized on Christmas morning, quite a good feeling. But the point is, I'll be showing everything for free live, so I'll be there to answer anyone's questions as well, if you do have any for me about life, YouTube, business, whatever you want to ask me about. We'll do a Q&A as well. And while there are still free tickets available, I highly encourage you to sign up for one, since I don't do this often. I do this like 4 times per year, so once every 3 months or so, and it's going to be very amazing. The last masterclass that we had, some people are the people that you see here getting these results. They attended the masterclass, tried to learn as much as possible, and it turned out to be the best decision in their life. So I can only encourage you guys to do the same, since I'm not asking for anything in return. You can join for free, watch everything, learn as much as you want to, then just take this information, apply this for yourself, and it's going to be amazing. So yeah, if you're watching this video and the masterclass still hasn't taken place yet, just sign up for a free ticket if there are any left. If you're watching this after the masterclass has happened, then there are other links in the description where you can still work with us. However, you will not get the same bonuses that people get during the masterclass, since I'm also, of course, making it possible to get a very good offer for Faceless Launchpad for everyone that turns up, since that must surely be serious people that genuinely want to learn YouTube automation. So yeah, you also get a 6-figure niche list for free if you do sign up. Kind of cool, but that is all. Let's get back to the video. So let's see here, sleep time history. We also have another channel that is very similar, just because I wanted to show you guys multiple examples. It's called The World Before Dawn. You can check this out on your own. It's basically the exact same style kind of content. You see here AI images, just zooming back in and out, some sparkle effect. There's an AI voiceover, AI script, all that kind of stuff. It was started also 3 weeks ago, but they've already amassed probably like 300K views in total, which would translate to 2K, 1.5K, which is just a great example of people actually succeeding with this. As we speak, and as you're watching this video, people are out there creating AI channels and getting these kinds of results. Now, the first and one of the most important things that you have to keep in mind if you're gonna start a faceless YouTube channel is to take all of the possible precautions to not get shadow banned. And this is why the Thailand video here is quite relevant, and why they've actually done this or used this one specific channel. It is due to the fact that with pre-existing channels, meaning channels that have been on YouTube for a long time, maybe a channel that you're watching YouTube videos privately with, whether you would be watching, Mr. Beast, whatever your favorite creator. Those channels that already have a bunch of watch history and have been used as a normal user for a long time, they have a much lower risk of actually being shadow banned. So the reason why this creator have probably used this channel is because he had a channel with a video from a year back. He's also used it personally, and that obviously worked really well for him, as you can tell, he wasn't shadow banned. His third video got 34K views, and that is just a very clear sign that the channel is not shadow banned. If you think about it, YouTube, they want to kind of keep the bots and spammers off the platform, so they will restrict the impressions of anyone that they think is a bot. But if you have been on the platform for a very long time and you have previous uploads, maybe even from a long time ago, then that will help you a lot in not being shadow banned. If you are shadow banned, however, it looks something like this. Many beginners have met this problem, and so many people that join my program have also faced this, and it's kind of the reason why many people stop YouTube before they're actually seeing any success. So you can see I posted a video here. It's got 11 impressions, which first of all, that just tells me that the channel might be cooked. All of the impressions are from YouTube search. If we go over to views, it's got 1 view. And why I can tell that this channel is shadow banned just based on this one upload. Of course, having multiple uploads showing a similar trend like this will help you really verify that it's shadow banned. But just based on this one video, to paint you the example, if you got 11 impressions and all of them are from YouTube search, then that means that your videos are not popping up on the YouTube homepage like this. YouTube is not pushing your uploads to new viewers that might not have seen your niche or channel before. they are only pushing your uploads to people that search for your precise title in the search bar. And that means that you are shadow banned. They're not wanting you to get new viewers, they're restricting your content from being shown. So even if you're posting the best content in the world, if your channel is shadow banned, you will still not get any views and it will be a super frustrating time. So I'm not gonna talk about this forever, but if you do have a pre-existing channel like this guy, or just a channel you've been using to watch YouTube for a very long time, using it privately, then definitely use that channel as your first faceless one, since it's gonna benefit you a lot in the long term. If for any reason you don't have a channel like this, you can either start a fresh channel. Just make sure to start it on a old Gmail address that you have. Do not create a new Gmail for the channel, or you can always go over to sites like this and get its YouTube channels for a price. This one is the most credible one that I've used many times before. However, there are of course many sites like this where you can just get either H1 or monetize once, depending on your budget. It doesn't really matter that much. Also, a very good thing to keep in mind if you are starting a new channel is to not change the branding, meaning the profile picture, the name, the banner, all of that stuff. Do not customize it until you are seeing traction on the channel. I've seen this happen hundreds of times. People are posting, 1 or 2, 3 videos. They're seeing some traction coming in, and after the first video getting a bunch of views, they change the profile picture, they change the name, they change everything, and the channel just completely dies. This is not something that I can verify, but having seen it happen many times, and also for myself, I would like to think that it's a correlation between being shadow banned and just completely switching your name, profile picture, everything at once. So until you are seeing consistent traffic from your 4th or 5th upload, then do not change the name. I know it's super tempting, don't get me wrong, but definitely do not do it. But perfect, now that we have the boring stuff out of the way. So in order to create a video like this, you first need to start off with a script, right? And what I would recommend everyone to do if you are a beginner, you have your niche in front of you, you have your reference channel, meaning a competitor that is doing really well. You simply take their most viral video. You want to make a video about the same topic with a little bit of a twist. However, to create a very, very good script with AI, first of all, we are going to use Claude. This is the best AI copywriting tool that you can possibly find. ChatGPT is great, but it is not as good as Claude, simply due to the fact that for these AI channels, you make super, super long content due to getting a higher RPM. YouTube likes your content more as well. And with ChatGPT, it's gonna be a big pain in the ass for you to generate 30-minute long scripts, 1 hour minute long scripts, but Claude can do this very, very easily. So first thing that you want to do is just get the most popular video on your reference channel, extract the transcript through either YouTube's own transcript tool, or there are of course sites online. And once you have the transcript copied, you just head over to Claude, open a new chat like this, paste in the transcript first of all. It will look something like this, and then you just write a prompt something like this. I'll just skip to when I'm done writing it. Right, so I finalized the prompt here. It says, I'm starting a history channel and I've attached a script to a very successful history script that I want to emulate for my own channel. Analyze the structure, facts, language, and write me a similar script on the same topic. Do not copy any sentences one-on-one and keep everything original, but with the same structure and information. Now, the part here, do not copy any sentences one-on-one. If you do not include this part, Claude is very likely to still write a very original script, but it's going to take exact copies of some sentences. And since we just want to stay noble and we don't want to copy anything from our competitors, I just like to include that there, because what can happen if Claude for some reason would copy a very large segment of the reference script? Since we're dealing with AI, this can happen. Then the competitor could, in reality, actually, if they found out, they could strike down your video for copyright infringement. Since a script is copyright material, but rewriting a script with AI does not make you vulnerable to any copyright strikes unless you actually copy these sentences one-on-one. Also, specify the length, make the script 5,000 words in length. I'm just making it 5,000 words, which is approximately a 30-minute video for the sake of the example. You can make this as long as you want to. Claude supports outputs for a little bit more than 5,000 words, probably a few thousand more, but then you will have to prompt multiple times to get the entire script done if you are making 2-hour long videos. But yeah, I don't want to generate the script forever, so I'll just go with 5,000 words here for the example. So then you would just send the prompt. It's gonna start generating you the script. You might have to do this again if you reworded your prompt weirdly. It's gonna say like, oh, I can't copy someone else's script. Then you just have to reword your prompt kinda, but something like this should work. Now, while it is actually generating this script, you can utilize Claude projects. It's up here in the top left corner. It is kind of the next level of Claude usage. I can definitely make you guys a full tutorial on how to set up your Claude project, all that kind of stuff. But what that is, it's basically a custom coded, or not coded, but custom made script writing bot that is specific for your channel. So you don't have to always tell Claude what length you want. You don't have to tell it what kind of style you want. You simply just customize it with a bunch of scripts from your reference channel, and then it will write perfect scripts every single time. I usually use it for all of my projects, but it takes a few minutes to set up, so I don't want to bore you guys out with that. I can make a full video about it. Just leave a comment down below, and I will make sure to do so if I see enough demand for it. But anyways, this is taking a bit long, so I'm gonna skip to when the script is actually done, and I'm gonna show you guys the results. And as you can see, I now have a script here. Now, I did have to change up the prompt a little bit off cam since Claude was stuck in some infinite loop of just loading. I tried just decreasing the length of the script and also removing the line that I want to create a history YouTube channel. It eventually worked. Pretty much the exact same prompt. You can play around with the length. I'm not sure if that was the issue, but I have generated scripts that are 6,000, 7,000 words in length. For some reason, just now when I was recording, of course, it met some kind of issue. But we have the script here. As you can see, it's a full script, quite long. Let's just look at the hook real quick. There's a span of time that gets overlooked, a period in our planet's past so monumentally long that it dwarfs everything humans have ever accomplished. So what you would want to do with an AI script like this is, generally the whole script is good. You don't have to super proofread through it and make big changes. It is just the hook that you need to improve. So the first 2 or 3 sentences are the most important. They're the most important part of your video, essentially. So if you can improve them, of course do, since it's quite a high leverage task, considering it can make or break your video. So always use a hook that is very similar to your reference video. If we take a look at the transcript that we used here, it says that there's a gap in time that nobody talks about, and our hook was, let's actually see here what I think it's this one. There's a span of time that gets overlooked. So that is very similar, that is perfect, and we can simply move on now to the next part of the tutorial. And the next part would be to generate the AI voiceover. Now, usually you would use a site like 11 Labs. It is the website that everyone on YouTube talks about, and to be frank, it is the best voiceover platform that there is. But what many people who aren't actually doing YouTube automation themselves don't know is that there are some lesser known sites where you can save in on a lot of money. So for example, if we look at the pricing of 11 Labs here, if I can just find that somehow, here it is. You get 500,000 credits for $99 per month. You get here 11 million credits for $1,320 per month. Now, however, there is a separate site here where you can get 9 million voice credits, and keep in mind, this is the exact same quality as 11 Labs, if not the same voices. I'm actually not sure, but you get it for $39. So you're saving, over $1,200 just by using this site. And I'm not going to reveal it publicly here on YouTube, since I don't know for how long this will be available, and I would rather make sure that it's available for everyone in my program. But if you really do want access to the site, just leave a comment on this video if you haven't got it yet. Also leave a thumbs up. Then just take a screenshot of this as proof and just direct message me on Instagram, and I will let you know what the site is called. But yeah, the way that this would work is that you just access the labs after you have loaded up a few credits into your account. You can see that I have some credits here. You would choose your voice, of course, here. And I bet you that we can find the same voice as the reference channel used. Let's just take a quick look at what voice they used once more.
The dinosaur took its final breath, and the moment our ancestors started looking remotely human.
So this voice, if you are unfamiliar with the sleepy history niche, is the most used voice ever. If we just go for Sleepless Historian here, this is one of the super big channels in this niche. One of the first ones as well. Let's listen to the voice that they're using.
Tonight we're heading into the Middle Ages, a time when people saw...
As you can see, exact same voice. They're all just using the same AI platform. Let's try to find the exact same voice here that they are using. So it is kind of middle-aged, I would suppose. Let's use the filters here. It's male, it's middle-aged. It is English, of course. Accent, I would say it's kind of British in some way. Let's just keep it British. And let's see if we can actually find this voice.
I'm Liam. To all mankind, the stillness of the night. The US Embassy. Welcome.
So I found this one called Christopher here. It sounds very similar. It's not the exact same, I don't think, but it sounds very good. Let's listen to it.
I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high o'er vales and hills.
Definitely fits the vibe of the video that we're trying to create. So I would just choose that one, click it like this. So we have Christopher. It kind of looks the same as 11 Labs this as well. So you would just don't play around with any of the settings. Definitely don't do so. Make sure that you're using the multilingual V2 or the latest model that they have. And then you can simply go back over to your script. Copy a big part of the script. I wouldn't copy all of it, rather generate it in parts, since if there's some very big mistake or the AI breaks, then you don't want to burn through a lot of credits, of course. For example, let's just do this one. Head back over to the website, paste it in, create voice, confirm, and you'll just see that it gets added to your timeline, kind of like this. I'll get back to when it's done so that we can listen to the results. And perfect, the voiceover here is now done. Let's just play it out.
There's a span of time that gets overlooked, a period in our planet's past so monumentally long that it dwarfs everything humans have ever accomplished.
This might even be the exact same voice, I'm not sure. But it sounds very good. You can see that the quality is great, the cadence is great, the flow is great. Everything is good, and it's exactly as we wanted for our video. So we would just go ahead and download this in the bottom right corner, like this. See that it's downloaded as the MP3 file. And this means that we now can move on to the next part, which would be gathering the different visuals. And as you can see, the reference channel, they just kind of go between these different images. They have some kind of fire sparkle overlay. They have the captions in yellow, and that is all they have for the entire video. So the images we would of course create with AI. Now a big disclaimer, if you're completely broke, you could potentially find these images online one by one. But if you have a budget for it or you want unique images, then you can create them with AI to tailor them more and make your content look more and become more engaging. So I'm going to show you the AI way of things, but if you do want to find them manually, you can use a site called Pixabay and just search up the different images that you want to. It's going to take you longer searching for them, but it's of course it's free. There's no copyright to these images since they are on Pixabay, which is a copyright-free website. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys both of the options. Right, so before we move on, I had to switch up the location here. I very quickly traveled to my family for the holidays, but the way that you want to generate the AI images and, you know, keep the same style for your entire channel, get some kind of, you know, branded feeling or at least maintain a very distinct style for your images. And let's also use the reference channel as an example here. So we're going to use ChatGPT to generate the image prompt here. It's going to make our life a lot easier. But since we want the style to match whatever these guys have used, kind of the illustrated style almost, we are just going to take a screenshot from the YouTube like this. Boom. Then head back over to ChatGPT and enter a prompt that looks something like this. So I'm creating images as visuals for my history channel. And I need you to turn my script into prompts that can be used to generate relevant images in Leonardo AI, which is the tool that we're going to use. I will also upload an image of the style that I want my own generations to follow, so describe it in the prompt itself. Then simply just add the photo that you just took, like this. Boom. And also paste in the script from Claude. So this is just the intro that I got from Claude. That should be enough. And we're going to get a bunch of image prompts. Now, I said previously that this will be faster than finding images on Pixabay. It kind of depends how you set up your workflow. But usually this might actually take longer than finding images on Pixabay, but it does give your channel the more kind of unique vibe to it. It feels higher effort than just taking a bunch of stock footage from Pixabay. So you can completely choose yourself if you want to spend a little bit more money to get custom images that fits your story, or if you just want to use Pixabay, as we talked about earlier, to get all of the content for free. Of course, you do have to sit there and gather all of the content. But you see here, ChatGPT is going to generate a bunch of image prompts right here that we can then use in Leonardo. So let's just take the first one, a vast prehistoric landscape, blah, 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 blah. Copy that. Then you're just going to head over to Leonardo that looks like this. This is the kind of app itself when you have logged in. Press on image. You're going to be taken to this kind of view. This is where you paste in your prompt in the top middle. And here you have some settings to the left. And you want to make sure that these are correct in the 16:9 aspect ratio so that you get images that are made for YouTube, the landscape kind of frame. Make them large. If you can really choose yourself, but if you make them large, it will have more pixels. It will come out as more sharp and more detailed images. Number of images you can completely choose yourself. This will drain more credits. So if I do paste this generation now and press on generate, it will generate 4 images instead of just 1. So let's just keep it at 4. And then style, you can choose this, whatever fits your style the best. We don't want cinematic, we want kind of, let's see here, what styles we can use. Let's just use none for this example. And then we can just go ahead and generate the prompt. We can also here to even go the extra mile. Also here upload the screenshot that we took earlier as a style reference, as that will really ensure that the style is correct. So let's just do that like this. Press on generate, and I'll be back once the images are completed. Right, so the first few generations got done here. This is how it turned out. So this style looks similar, but it has its own unique feeling. This is completely up to you how you want this style to look and how you want to brand your channel. I would just go with this. I also even generated the next prompt in this series as well, which is focusing on dinosaurs. This is the same style as this one. Can be used, but you can really change the prompt however you want to in order to change the colors, change whatever the focus in the style is. You can even use a different reference image here if you want to have it look different. Then you just go back to ChatGPT, copy the next prompt, paste it in, like this. Like this. Press on generate, then just go back, take the next one. And then you just repeat this process until you have generated all of the prompts and you have images for your entire script. So you see, this is very similar to the actually reference image that we have. Let's take a look at that one here. You can see here that it's quite similar. So they've just done it like this, and maybe a more kind of cartoonish feeling instead of a illustration. And then they just added the captions in their editing software. So this is how you would generate the images. You then just go ahead and download each and every one of them. Now, an extra tip, if you do have the credits that you want to burn, many channels, what they do is that in the beginning, they have an animated image instead of only the still image to just make the content more engaging and actually hook people in better. So what you can do in Leonardo, and why this is so great, press on the little icon here, generate video. Then you can see here, you just have the prompt, make a video of this image, generate, and it will take the image that you just generated with Leonardo previously, the image, and it will turn it into a video, which can look quite well. You can see I've done it before here, and it looks very realistic. It looks amazing. This was for another video tutorial that I posted on the channel. So let's see what happens here. You can see that it kind of just moves forward. Looks kind of weird since we have an illustration here. It wasn't really a realistic image, but you're free to play around with this as you want to, of course. So you would just go ahead and download each and every one of these images like this. I think this is the best one. Press on download. Then I think that this is the best one. Moving on, I think that this is the best one. and then yeah, it just keeps going, and you just download all of the images. Now, I mentioned it before, you can also use Pixabay. Let's just see here, search for like dinosaur, and you can actually mix in either images or videos from Pixabay. You can see that these are looking very modern, but if we actually go back and press on videos instead and search for old dinosaur, for example, then you will get a bunch of different videos that you could potentially use for your own content. And this will save you money, but it will also, if you do it the right way, make your content way more engaging if you actually pay attention to the videos that you add to your content. If we even quickly go back to the reference channel here, we will see that they have some kind of fire particle effect here.
Disaster. Massive tsunamis that scoured coastlines.
You can see that there's some kind of fire particle effect. Even to make it better than your competitors, and what many people do, is that they add some kind of campfire sound. It makes a lot of sense to this kind of fire particle effect as well. And for this, we can actually utilize Pixabay, since they have everything. They have music, sound effects, everything that you can ever want. Music, for example, let's just search for fireplace cracking, for example, crackling, and see what we get. That is not a fireplace crackling. Not really what we're looking for. Alright, so I actually switched over to the sound effects category and searched for fireplace once again. And I found this one at the top. Sounds like a cozy campfire. So we'll just go ahead and download that as well, which will be able to loop across the entire video. It's a 5-minute long audio file as well, so that's quite good. Then now for the last part, we need the fire particles also. For that, you go over to videos, if it should be. Then you just enter something like fire particles, like this. And when you search for this, you should be getting a bunch of different results. I'll just go scroll through a bunch of these and see when we can find something that can be used. Alright, so I found this one, and honestly, this will be good enough. It does have a black background, but you can just drag down the opacity a lot and you will see only a glimpse of the particles. And there are of course better ways to solve this, and if you have an editor, they can make it way better. But for a kind of DIY solution, this will be just fine. So just go ahead and download this one. This will do. And now at this point, if you followed all of these steps, you got the overlay, you got the music, aka the fire crackling sounds to make it cozy. You got all of the images from Leonardo AI, maybe even videos if you've animated them. So now you should be able to put together all of this content into a video that you then can post on YouTube. And it really isn't harder than this to start your first channel. Now, what many people do who run these big operations is that they create systems with, for example, N8N that can generate these images automatically. It generates the script automatically, the voiceover, everything. I could show that in a separate video if you guys want. Make sure to comment and let me know. It's quite an in-depth process. It will take a lot of time to create, so I'll only do it if a bunch of you guys want to see it. But let me show you how you put all of this together manually into a video. And once you have learned this process, you can actually just outsource this to a virtual assistant as well, which I'll get to in a few minutes. So in order to put all of this together and do it the free and easy way, you just head over to CapCut. It's a web-based editing software. Press on create new in the top left corner. 16:9 aspect ratio as always, and here you just click to upload all of the assets that you've generated, the images, sound effects, also the voiceover, but I'll just do so and get back to you. Great, so you can see that I've added all of the assets here now. So first of all, just press on the voiceover, add it like a track here. Then of course take your fire particles, you can add it as a separate track as well, like this. And then you can take the actual images that you want to add to the footage. I think this one was first in line. Then just add the next one. Then you add the next one. And you basically just repeat this process with adding all of the images in the correct order. Now, if you want to make this even better, you have a little add a transition button here that you can see. Just press on that one. And then if you go into classic, you should be able to find black fade. And then if you press on it, you'll see that it gets added between the clips. Then press on basic, and just press on apply to all. So that will apply the same transition effect between every single image. It will save you a bunch of time. Now our screen is obviously black, which is not what we want because this overlay thing is just covering everything. So just press on that one as well. Press on basic here in the top right corner and then drag down the opacity, and you'll see that suddenly you have, let's say, your video like this, something like this. And if we play it, you'll see that the fire particles will be on the screen.
There's a span of time that gets overlooked, a period in our planet's past so monumentally long that it will...
So that is how simple the video creation really is. Now this is obviously just a kind of fast track version showing you how everything is made. Then you can do each one of these steps more higher quality or worse quality if you want to, by animating the images as we mentioned, or adding, Pixabay stock footage clips also works really well. Then the last step would be to add also the fireplace loop kind of crackling sound. We should also drag down the volume of that slightly. Let's do it like this, so it's in the background only. And let's play it out and see how it sounds.
There's a span of time that gets overlooked, a period in...
Okay, so it was not loud enough. Let's just drag it up like this. We'll see.
Our planet's past so monumentally long that it dwarfs everything humans have ever accomplished. 300 million years.
And you see, it feels like a campfire story. And then if you want to do the last thing that will be kind of the cherry on top of the cake, you just press on captions here to the left and then auto captions. And here you'll be able to generate the auto captions for the entire video, which you'll see here what happens. So you'll get all of the text on screen throughout the entire video, and boom, you are done. You can also even change the way that this text looks by pressing on basic up here in the top, or actually presets, it might be, yeah, presets, and then you can choose either one of these if you want to, or you can even customize the text as you want to yourself in the basic tab here. And when you want to save down the project, you just press on export, download, and make sure that the settings are the highest they possibly can be. And before, then just export, and that's done. Now, the reason why I'm not doing a super in-depth video for the tutorial is because I really want you guys to understand that your job is not to sit there and make these videos yourself, spending hours on that. So you should just learn the process and become very good at it, experiment with your own unique editing touches or whatever for your own niche, but then you should outsource this to a virtual assistant. Now with these AI channels, why they are very, very cost efficient and convenient is, first of all, the process that I showed here, it costs you very, very little money if you compare it with what you would have to do in the past, hiring freelancers. Now you can do all of this with AI very easily, and it's going to cost you basically nothing. And then when you want to automate this and actually turn your channel into, something like this, where they can post very, very long videos. Let's see how often they post. They post 1.5 hour videos every single day, which would require you to put in a lot of work with the stuff that I showed you in the tutorial to make it happen. These guys are also posting maybe even twice per day, it seems, and they're posting over 1 hour video, 1.5 hours. And for you to be able to actually match this and follow the same strategy, you would need to outsource the content production to someone else that can just sit there and do this day in and day out. And to spare you guys a bunch of time and money, they are not hiring editors to, edit this content professionally and cost you a bunch of money. What these guys are doing, and what is working really, really well, is that they are just hiring a virtual assistant from something like Upwork. So you can see here, this is a job post that I made a month ago or two. I basically just wrote in my job post, let's see if we can see the job post itself. Yeah, so we're looking for a full-time virtual assistant to help with creating and posting content on YouTube. What you'll do, I just mapped out all of this stuff that they will do: upload and schedule videos, create videos using our own custom tool. So there's no custom tool really, it's just the process that I just showed. And yeah, I just compile everything that I've gone through in this tutorial, or even make a tutorial like this yourself for your freelancers, and then just provide that to the virtual assistant that can complete this work for $5, even less here, $3 an hour. Some of them will work for. And in 1 hour, you can potentially get done with a entire video or half a video. So you would pay someone, let's say $7. If you're counting with 3 times 2, $7 for a single video, including all of the tool costs. So you can, in theory, get away with, $10, $15 total for a single 1.5 hour video. And that, I can tell you, is very, very cheap if you compare to what YouTube automation used to cost just a year ago. So we've come a very long way in terms of using AI and making it super, super cost efficient. And that is why it's working really, really well for me, for all of the people in my program, and for many other people who have been early to just integrating AI into their strategy. Now, when you've hired your freelancer here or your virtual assistant, and you're actually scaling up to multiple channels or a bigger team, it's going to be crucial that you set up these systems and these SOPs in a very structured manner and actually have a good workflow. Otherwise, everything will just burst into chaos, and you'll get a big headache from having to fix all of these things and actually be in the business, extinguishing fires all the time. So I'm not going to talk too much about this because it's not too relevant for everyone of you watching this content that are beginners. But this is my upcoming software. We just launched the private beta. So think of all of the regular tools: Trello, Discord, Slack, sending payments to freelancers. Everything will be in one platform. So it's going to be great. I'm using this myself, and it's saving me tens of hours every single month. You can read more about it on cloudboard.com. But yeah, it's not too relevant for you guys as beginners. So rather put this on your memory, and when you do scale up and have a bigger team, this can become very, very interesting for you. Nonetheless, you can sign up to the beta waitlist and you'll be notified when we launch either way. But I just wanted to mention it because it genuinely will save you a bunch of time and money if you are approved for the tool. But once again, I can't promise that you guys with small teams will be approved, as we're looking for big agencies, big teams that have, for example, 15 plus freelancers. Those are the main clients that we're working with at the moment. Now, a last thing, and to once again explain why these channels are performing so great, is, like I've probably mentioned this already, but you can see that all of them are posting 1.5 hour long videos. All of them are posting very, very often. And this kind of strategy actually makes a lot of sense if you just think about it. So YouTube as a whole, they just want you as the creator to keep the viewer on their platform for as long as possible. And psychologically, if you are creating a 2 hour long video or a 1 hour long video in relation to if you were to be creating a 7-minute video, it will be a lot easier for you to get a viewer to stay on the platform for as many minutes as possible with the 1 hour video. Because someone who starts watching a video, if they see the timeline at all times, how much they've progressed through it, and without them realizing it, they're very inclined to watch your video for longer than if it was just a 7-minute video. So by people having access to a very, very cost efficient workflow with AI, they're able to create much longer content, spending less money than what you would need to spend to create 7-minute videos in the past. And that's why all of these channels are kind of exploiting the fact that their competitors haven't been able to achieve this yet. So all of these different sleep or history channels, you'll see that they're posting super long videos. That is due to it just performing better. And also, just as a bonus on top of this, it can boost your RPM by almost 2x. So you could be creating the exact same content but just making it longer, and that way you earn double the amount of money, or triple even in some cases, from just having a much longer video length. And lastly, the reason why they are posting so often, this is also just a byproduct of them using AI. So before, posting a 1.5 hour video every single day, that would require you to have quite a big team, which would drain you a lot of money and resources first of all, but it's very hard for you to manage this big team and keep sticking to the schedule. Now with AI, since it has become so easy and anyone without any kind of knowledge can create this kind of content, it's made it so much easier for everyone to stick to a 1 upload per day schedule with super long content. So by uploading once per day, you first of all get so much more data to reiterate on. So you'll much faster hit your first viral video since you're just naturally uploading more. And it's easier for your channel to get picked up by the algorithm, as YouTube, they want you to upload as much as possible initially. As long as you're not spamming the platform, they want to see an active channel that is just uploading all the time. So that's the kind of current meta with these AI channels and why I'm making so much content about them. Like, this is the strategy that I've done myself. It is the reason why I've been very successful with YouTube automation, and I just know that it can be very feasible for beginners to get into, since the barrier to entry is so low. Keep in mind, this will not be around forever. This possibility is just the first people that learn AI and really put their minds to it to start channels that are successful. But for those of you guys that are watching this video and genuinely applying this knowledge and trying to learn more, trying to figure out how you can make it even better for your own niche and channels, this will be invaluable. Now guys, I'm not gonna make this video too long. If you want me to show a full tutorial on how you can automate all of this with N8N and basically just make it a one-click automation, you enter your video topic and everything gets created, what we've done here manually, then let me know in the comments, because I can definitely make that. It just requires a bunch of work really to set it up. But I can do it if you guys want to see it. Apart from this, if you like to class yourself as a creative person and you think YouTube automation and this AI opportunity is very interesting, then I would like to share with you some very important news that are coming up. You have a very good opportunity in front of you that is completely free that I just want to share with you. So I have a program called Faceless Launchpad where we basically just do everything that I talk about here on YouTube, except we provide people with coaching and the resources needed to really guarantee that you succeed. You know, Savian here, like I couldn't make this up. This is posted from Savian here. Got monetized on Christmas morning. That's kind of cool. You see that the results just go on and on and on. Ashton here as well. Interview coming out with Ashton really soon of how he's been able to achieve these results very fast with YouTube. I think we have more here, like Gus. He made 12K in his first 20 days of monetization. Pretty cool. Over $2,000 in a single day, which is absolutely crazy. So the whole strategy that all of these students are using and that I'm using myself, I'm actually going to be going over that in a free masterclass, like a free training that I'm hosting live with me sitting there answering everyone's questions, just sharing everything with my strategy for free. In 6 days as of recording this right now. So it might be even shorter. It's going to be January 3rd. It might be even shorter when this video is coming out. Or perhaps you're watching this video after the masterclass has taken place. But if it still has not happened while you're still watching this video, you know, grab your free ticket while they are still available. I'm going to be going over everything. You also get a, you know, 6-figure niche list as you're signing up to the event for free. I don't ask for anything in return. So yeah, sign up if you want to learn more about AI channels and how we make it work. Also learn more about the Faceless Launchpad program that I'm hosting, since on the masterclass for everyone that is interested, I will also be giving a very interesting offer for the people that want to take this very seriously and actually get into YouTube. And if it's already happened, you can just check another link in the description. You can work with us still in the program. However, you will not get the masterclass benefits, but that's completely fine because it will still help you grow on YouTube nonetheless. So that is all for this video. I'll see you in the next one.